terrible chairs.
Right here. Folks, once again, we have our coach and our student athletes. We'll get the opening comments from our head coach, and then we'll open up the floor.
Well, we feel very fortunate. I think that game yesterday afternoon with the 5 extra minutes with the overtime, I think it did a lot to take some legs out of Notre Dame. We were fortunate that I thought we played really well defensively the last 5 or 6 minutes of the first half, but they also missed some shots. And then we started out the second half. We may have scored the first 3 out of 4 baskets in the second half. But I thought defensively late in the first half we were really good. And, again, we caught them, fortunately, where they were missing some of the shots. And I think getting August in foul trouble early was important to us. The only bad thing is about 30 seconds after he got his 4th foul, Bryce got his 4th foul for us. But Isaiah, 15 rebounds, was big for us to say the least. Marcus, 7 assists and 0 turnovers. Joel Berry, 4 assists and 0 turnovers. You look down at the points off offensive rebounds. We had 20 and they had 5. They scored 23 against us up at South Bend on offensive rebounds. And then the other thing in South Bend, they had 2 turnovers. And today, again, I think the fact they didn't have their legs as well, they had 17 turnovers. But we played pretty well and happy as we can be to be in the finals.
Folks, a general reminder, when the microphone comes around, please identify yourselves and the agency you're with, please. Questions? To our left, third row, far left.
Coach Dave Preston, WTOP Radio. Defensively, what was the approach this evening, and then what was the difference during the final 6-12 of the first half where you guys held them scoreless?
Well, we went small at that time because I think it was a little over 5 minutes when Bryce and Kennedy both had picked up their second fouls. And we went small, and I think we were very active. We didn't foul them as much as we'd been fouling them before that. But I think that Marcus and Theo, Isaiah, Joel, and I'm trying to remember, I guess Justin was the other guy in the game, and I think all 4 of them were really active defensively.
Third row, to our left.
Bob Holliday, WRL.com. Historically, this team has not performed very well without Bryce. He was on the bench the entire 6 minutes at the end of the first half. Notre Dame did not get a field goal during that time, nor did they get a field goal during the first 4 minutes of the second half. What does it say about the progress of your bench that you can go on an 18-0 run with Bryce on the bench?
Well, I think it says a lot for our team. Isaiah's been pretty doggone good for us all year long. I mean, that's the impressive part. And I thought Theo came in, and other than taking maybe the worst charge I've ever seen in history of college basketball, I thought Theo was really good for us. But Marcus made some shots. Joel made some shots in the first half. You know, Bob, I'd have to accept your word for it that we've played poorly without Bryce in there before I'd go with the rest of the part of it, because I think Isaiah's and the other guys have done pretty well all year long. But we want Bryce in the game. There's no question about that.
To our right, very back row.
Marcus, you have a good shooting performance. You know, Coach mentioned you hit some shots. What's it like to go in the locker room and not have to answer questions about your shooting slump or what's going on or that kind of thing?
Oh, well, actually, I still did, but it was about actually making shots this time. But no, it felt good. I had a lot of confidence coming in the ACC tournament that I was going to be able to knock down some shots. So to finally do that is a big weight off my back, I guess, and it helps the team because we got to have balance, and I think that helps us get some balance. We shot, I think, 40% from 3 as a team today, so that's a lot better than we've been doing. And it opens up the inside for guys like Isaiah and Kennedy and Bryce. So I'm glad I just did my part.
To our left, front row.
Brett Friedlander, Wilmington Star News. Marcus, you hear people talking about teams peaking at the right time all the time. Is this team in the process of that?
I think, you know, we're getting better. You know, that's a safe answer. But, you know, we didn't even play great offensively. I think we shot, 43%. But our defense is definitely peaking. We've turned the corner a little bit defensively these past several weeks where we've been holding teams to low field goal percentages and doing a better job on the backboards and not letting teams outwork us. So we're definitely hitting our stride, but I still don't know what our peak is, which is probably a good thing.
We're going to go to our left by the speaker.
Dana O'Neill with ESPN. Roy, you said yesterday that to play for 40 minutes, great defense is hard to do. How close was this effort?
Well, I thought there's no question that we were really good, but we still screwed it up sometimes. But that's the game of basketball too. But I thought our effort was there. I thought we talked in the first half on the defense end of the floor maybe better than we have any game since maybe the Maryland game really, really early in the season, and played the drive a little bit better. And but again, I think we caught Notre Dame. I think their legs were a little heavy. But the bottom line, to answer the question, is I think this came closer than we've had in quite a while.
Other questions from the floor? One more. Here we go. Two more to our left.
Okay.
We're good.
Question for Isaiah. You were voted the sixth man of the year. You've had experience coming into the game after watching for 4 or 5 minutes. When you're sitting there those first few minutes watching, what are you looking for, and what did you see tonight that enabled you to become a factor instantly?
I'll say it's the same thing every game. You know, I'm just looking to see how they're playing, but ultimately it's just my mindset. You know, I'm just going in trying to be aggressive, trying to do anything I can to help the team out. You know, just good things happen when I try to do that. You know, when I try to lay back or something, you know, usually bad stuff happens. So it's just, you know, just going out there, you know, trying to just be aggressive and do everything I can to help them out.
Stay on the left front row, please.
To both players, when things are going as well as they were at the end of the half and into the second half, when you run off 24 straight points, is it really fun to do? I mean, do you realize that that's happening, or are you so focused on the next play that you really don't realize it?
I mean, it's pretty fun when you know you're playing well and clicking on all cylinders. But you also know against a team that came back from down 16 to beat you that, you know, there's a lot of game left and it's way too early to celebrate. So watching that film from when we played them at their place kind of engraved in our minds that we couldn't celebrate early. We had to keep going. We had to, you know, finish the job. And that was kind of the message at halftime, to not have the same thing happen again. So I don't know. But personally, I was happy with the way we were playing, but I couldn't get out of my mind what had happened, you know, earlier than the ACC play. So it's fun, but, you know, it's not the end of the world.
Far right, second row.
David Glenn from ACCSports.com and the David Glenn Show. Marcus, when you play this way, people say it's like the old Marcus. Are you doing anything different? Do you feel anything different? Do you know this is coming, or sometimes are you surprised like everybody else?
Well, I'm definitely not surprised. I know I'm capable of playing at this level. I was when I came back from my hand injury for a while before I started slumping or any of that stuff. So it was just a matter of time before I got my confidence back and just played the way I knew I was capable of playing, and just relaxing and playing basketball again and trying to have fun. So yeah, I guess you can call it the old me, but I didn't think I ever left, even though I hadn't been playing at the level I had previously been playing at.
The very back standing, far left.
Bo Worley, Carolina Connection. This is to both players. How are you guys liking DC so far compared to Greensboro?
I mean, all I do is stay in my room, sleep. You know, Marcus can vouch for me. I'm the player that don't really do nothing, just go to sleep.
Yeah, Isaiah, it's probably the same anywhere we go for Isaiah. The hotel room is a hotel room. But I've enjoyed it. It's cool. My first 3 years, it's always been in the same place. So to have a different venue has been cool. Obviously, it's a little bit more of a home crowd for us when we play in Greensboro, but our fans do a great job of traveling and giving us support. So it's cool to see somewhere else and get a chance to be in the Capitol and, you know, witness some things. I've never been to D.C. before, so I've got to see some things I hadn't and I've always wanted to see. So, but as long as we keep winning, I'm gonna love D.C., I guess.
Right side, back row.
Brooke Pryor, Durham Herald-Sun. Marcus, that step back first three that you had, is that one of those shots that you look forward to going back and watching on a Vine later, or seeing the Twitter reaction or anything like that?
Not really. I mean, I'll probably see it just because the social media is so quick with those things these days. But I just like that because it was able to get me in a rhythm. I got a good, clean look at the basket. Sometimes it's hard for me to get open looks because I get a lot of attention my way. So anytime I can get a clean look at the basket, I'm happy, I guess.
Anything else for North Carolina? Folks, thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's all the same.